welcome to CNN. This is your reporter Lavina Iran. And today's topic of discussion is going to be marine pollution, its causes, effects, and its possible solution. Now, we will connect to our reporter Ashita, who will talk about noise pollution and its effects on marine ecosystem.
Thanks, Lavina. Let me start off by asking you, is noise pollution something that you associate with the oceans?
No, it's not something that usually occurs to me.
No, you're not alone. These past few days have been extremely enlightening for me, and I've come to realize that noise pollution in the oceans is a very real and very serious problem. This usually stems from ships, explosions, construction work, and sonar devices in the ocean. These loud noises completely disrupt the lives of marine animals. The depths of the ocean are very low visibility regions, so animals rely on sound to communicate, to locate their mates, their prey, to navigate, and also to defend their territories. Noises from sonar devices can be extremely misleading, so this leads to many of the animals getting stranded. We come across so many of these reports in these times. They also tend to panic after hearing these loud noises and rise to the surface very fast. This leads to tissue damage. Loud noises lead to long-term hearing loss and also affects their entire individual and social behavior. The Indian Ocean, the Arabian Sea, and the Bay of Bengal account for 20% of the entire ocean surface of the world. In the coming decades, noise pollution in these regions is expected to double every 10 years. Although the National Wildlife Action Plan of 2017 to 2031 has some guidelines about how noise affects marine, coastal, and aquatic ecosystems, there is still a lot more that we can be doing. For example, if ships just slow down while passing through regions rich in marine life, there is a large reduction in the amount of noise that they produce. This has been proved by studies in the US Pacific Northwest and in Vancouver. We need a lot of these immediate and long-term fixes to ensure that the lifetime of marine animals is not cut short in a world where hearing means survival. This is Ashita for CNN TV. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashita. We'll take a quick break and resume with our discussion.
Hello everyone, my name is Lipika. I am here with your daily dose of interesting facts on the marine world. At least 8 million tons of plastic waste enters the ocean each year. This is equal to emptying a truck full of plastic into the ocean each minute.
Welcome back. Our second reporter is Fatima Safir, who will talk on marine plastic pollution. Connecting.
Thank you, Lavina. The human-mediated dispersal of invasive species into the oceans have been a problem since the Bronze Ages, when species were found on wooden sailing ships. Isn't it amazing how these small things could play the same role today, but in a much more extreme way? With the surface of the ocean now dotted with plastic, there is no limit to where it can travel, taking on board tiny passengers to strong ocean currents. Plastics, being non-degradable, buoyant, and able to persist in the seas for years, can cover greater distances than natural flotsam. An extreme example was seen after the 2011 Japan tsunami, when 5 million tons of debris washed offshore. A year later, these plastic objects were found in Hawaii, harboring 289 Japanese marine species. Pathogenic microbes such as Vibrio can also be transported from region to region through plastics. These pirates dramatically alter the habitat and the whole ecosystem's function by displacing native species, changing community structure and food webs, and modifying important processes such as nutrient cycles. And plastics being responsible for about 87% of this marine debris, it has been reported to carry at least 387 taxa of invasive species in our oceans. So I shall hand over the mic to my co-reporter on the scene, Sarah, to tell us more about the effects of marine pollution.
Thank you, Fatima. Plastic releases toxins and chemicals depending on the water body. This causes chronic illness and also fertility issues in the ecosystem. The chemicals released depends on the composition of the plastic material. Plastics thrown in the ocean act like sponges. They soak the toxins in the environment and affect the food chain of the marine ecosystem. Done. Fatima, give me a water.
Thank you, Sarah and Fatima. Our next reporter is going to be Janani, who is going to talk about oil spills. Handing over.
There is an island of garbage twice the size of Texas in Pacific Ocean. Here, the number of floating plastic pieces outnumbers the total marine life by 6 to 1 in the immediate vicinity.
Thanks, Lavina. Dangerous as it sounds, let's dive right into oil spill. Oil spill is the release of liquid petroleum hydrocarbon into the environment, especially marine ecosystem, due to human activity, and it is a major form of pollution. It can be caused by people making mistakes, being careless, equipment breakdown, natural disasters, or deliberate acts of war or illegal dumping. Depending on the circumstances, oil spill can be very harmful for marine animals, birds, fishes, and shellfishes. It also destroys the insulating ability of fur-bearing mammals like otters. Commercially important species such as tuna, shrimp, oyster also could suffer population decline. Oil spills are clearly disastrous for our oceans, but there exist some damage control methods. Some of them are dispersion, that is usage of harmful chemicals for breaking down the oil particles. Skimming is a removal of layer of oil from the surface of water, and burning is setting fire of freshly spilled oil on the surface of water. One of the eco-friendly ways to help solve this problem is by using hair mats. Yeah, you heard me right, hair mats. It is made out of human hair, fur and fleece from animals. This idea was created by Phil McCrory in the year 1989, and these hair mats absorb a huge amount of oil from water. To contribute, we can consider donating to organizations like Matter of Trust that has been making hair mats since 2000. Prevention is decidedly better than cure, and it is relief to know that the number of oil spills have reduced in the recent years. Thank you, this is Janani.
Thank you, Janani. We'll take a quick break and resume with our next reporter, live from Russia.
Over 500 dead zones exist in the world's ocean. A dead zone is a region which is devoid of oxygen. One of these dead zones is as big as the United Kingdom.
Thank you, Lavina. Due to chemical releases, there is an increase in growth of algal bloom, which increases the toxicity in oceans with high amount of chemicals being consumed by the marine species, and those that consume them transfer this toxicity to the next generation. Here in Russia, the increase in algal bloom killed 95% of the ocean dwellers and also the species who consume them. People exposed to these waters were affected with high amount of phenol, mercury and phosphate. There is loss of dissolved oxygen which leads to aquatic death.